On June 15, 1984, in Las Vegas, Nevada, Roberto Duran challenged Tommy Hearns for his WBC super welterweight title. The hands of Stone had entered the ring already stripped of his junior middleweight crown, and after 2 rounds, he fell to defeat. That set the stage for tonight's battle between Boston's number 2 ranked Sean Mannion and his opponent, Jamaican-born, number 1 ranked Mike the Body Snatcher McCallum. By the end of the 15 rounds, one of these combatants will emerge as the new junior middleweight champion. Against Tony Suero in April of '83, McCallum demonstrated his crisp, precise punching power and combinations that kept coming. Suero was to become the 18th victim of McCallum's professional career. The body snatcher, after only 3 rounds, had grabbed another one. Months after the Suero fight, McCallum put his technique to work again, this time against Jose Vallejo. The confrontation lasted only 5 rounds, and Mike McCallum had racked up KO number 17. Determined to remain undefeated, McCallum faced Hasim Raza in March. After only 1 round, it was over, and McCallum earned the right to fight for the unclaimed title.
Mike, this is sort of the end of the rainbow for you now. It's a fight you've been waiting for a long time.
Yes, it has been a long while. I've been number 1 contender for about 1 year and 3 months, something to that effect. And it's been a long time, you know, and like you said, it's about time in my way.
Mike, what do you know about the guy that you're fighting here? We know he's tough, and he's trained, he says, more this time than he ever has.
Well, I'd expect that. I mean, it's a championship fight. This is his lifetime. It's his dream also. I've trained this time more than I ever trained before also. And Sean is the kind of fighter that it bores. If you don't go right ahead and get out of the way, it will be a dull fight, because he tried to pick and move and cover up and stay in the corner and move and, you know, that kind of thing. So I got my strategy for Sean. Like I say, I had to fight about 50 times already in my mind. So I'm just going to go there and take care of business.
Awaiting the challenge of Mike McCallum is a native-born Irishman by the name of Sean Mannion. Sean Mannion faced Rocky Fratto in October of 1982. Mannion outboxed Fratto and was awarded the decision in 10 rounds. Experts may question the talent of Korea's In-chul Baek. He was ranked number 1 in the world when he faced Sean Mannion in May of '83. The southpaw outsmarted and outpointed the Korean and took the decision along with Baek's world rating. When Mannion faced Roosevelt Green in February of 1984, he displayed more punching power than ever before. This 7-round knockout gave proof that Sean Mannion is a viable contender.
Sean, you've been waiting a long time for this chance at the title. Have you fought this fight in your own mind already?
Yeah, I fought this fight about 1 year ago.
And how do you see it?
I see I'm coming out with the victory. I waited for so long for it, you know, and at last it's here, only a few hours away, and I'm going to make the best of it. I'm in great shape. I train real hard.
How do you account for people saying, well, he's never seen anybody like McCallum, that the caliber of fighter that you have fought is not like the guy you're going to fight tomorrow night?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking the same thing about McCallum, who has he fought. I'm thinking the same way about him. I fought 4 or 5 guys in the top 10, and I beat them all, and I'm sure I'm going to give Mike McCallum a real surprise.
So you've heard from both the participants. Here's a good look at Sean Mannion. He is the number 2 ranked, as you see, WBA Junior Middleweight contender. He's a guy who Mike McCallum is not going to have to look for. We know that for a fact.
Well, he's a brawler. In fact, he will be in the fight the whole time.
McCallum is a guy who throws a lot of punches and combinations. He, of course, had a lot of work at the Kronk gym with Emanuel Stewart. However, there have been some problems on the managerial scene, which we'll expound on a little bit more as time goes on. In his corner now, not Emanuel Stewart, but Dan Duva. Here's a look at the tail of the tape, and as you can see, McCallum has about 3 inches in height, and that could be a factor in this fight, I'd have to think, Larry.
Well, it depends how you use your height. There have been some tall fighters that haven't used it to their advantage. We'll have to see how McCallum faces a really good boxer like Mannion.
Tony Suero is the common opponent, wherein something really shows between these two, as Suero knocked Sean Mannion out in the 8th round, and McCallum handled Tony Suero. Now, let's go up to the ring announcer, Michael Buffer, for the pre-fight introductions. Michael?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Madison Square Garden, the temple of big-time professional boxing. Top Rank Incorporated is proud to bring to the fans here and all around the world watching on TV, Championship Boxing. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Association. The ringside supervisor for the WBA is Maurice Sleep. The judges are Carol Paulus of Pennsylvania, Johnny Lobianco of New York, and Carol Castellano of New York. The ringside physicians are Dr. Earl Shaw and Dr. William Latham. The timekeeper is Freddie Albatello. Counting for the knockdown seconds, Arthur Mercanti, and the referee from New York is Tony Perez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, man your battle stations. This is for the vacant World Boxing Association Junior Middleweight Championship of the World. 15 rounds. Introducing first in the red corner. He's wearing green trunks and weighs 154 pounds even. His professional record, 29 victories, only 5 losses and 1 draw. Originally from Rossmock in County Galway, Ireland. Now out of Dorchester, Massachusetts. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 2 contender in the world, Irish Sean Mannion. And in the blue corner, he's wearing gold trunks with black and green trim. He weighs 153 3/4 pounds. His professional record, undefeated in 21 consecutive bouts. From Kingston, Jamaica, the number 1 challenger in the world, Mike the Body Snatcher McCallum.
Tony Perez, the referee, with the instructions.
Sean, I just gave you the instructions in the dressing rooms at this time. Any questions at all? All right, shake hands, and good luck to both of you.
Well, it'll be colorful, if nothing else. Mike McCallum wearing Jamaican colors, actually, gold, green, black trim. Sean Mannion, the green and white of Ireland.
This may be the first championship fight to be judged by 2 women.
Carol Polis, Carol Castellano.
They have about
judges.
And they have about 20 championship fights of experience.
McCallum has come into the ring relatively cool, unlike Mannion. That's something, Ray, I know you've talked about on numerous occasions.
Well, there's no perspiration on either fighter. They're, in fact, they're a little, at this moment now, they're a little tight. And I wouldn't be surprised if something dramatic happened, like a knockdown. This is a big opportunity for both fighters.
And McCallum showing a good jab early on here. He will throw a lot of combinations. He's very quick. And frankly, when we talked yesterday, he's a very nice young man to begin with. When we talked yesterday, he was saying that his toughest fights so far have come in the gym at Kronk.
He knows how effective the left jab of McCallum is. It's very straight, it's accurate, and this left jab is going to do a lot for him in the fight against a southpaw like Sean Mannion. It will keep Mannion off balance, and also it will enable McCallum to deliver a right hand left hook.
McCallum with the right hand lead going downstairs, missed a little short. That lunging left by Mannion was caught on McCallum's gloves halfway through the first round. Crowd support here in favor of Mannion, and you can hear them chanting.
Well, in order for Mannion to win or to be effective, he needs to get inside. He has to make a fight out of this, make a brawl out of this fight. He can't stand back and try to box a guy of the height of Mike McCallum.
McCallum, a good quick left hand. This is a round of pretty much a feeling out process on both sides.
The left jab is really bothering Sean Mannion because he can't get set. Every time he makes a move, McCallum throws that left jab, and it connects.
So we come down toward the end of the first round, a round which has already seen a little bit of redness and just the slightest bit of puffiness on the right side of Sean Mannion's face.
Deep breath. Come on. I'm going to get to him. Okay, relax now, relax. Nothing in a hurry. Okay. Tell me what I say. Nothing was in a hurry.
According to those very close to Mannion, and they're very open about it, his biggest problem in the past has been that he hit the bottle harder than his opponents, but he's supposedly in training, and of course, here's Marvin Hagler in his dressing room, perhaps an hour away from defending his title for the 10th time. Sean Mannion, Mike McCallum.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Once again, the left jab of Mike McCallum is starting to go to work on Sean Mannion.
So this is the second round, and the pace picks up just a little bit early on in the second round. Both corners telling their man to be patient.
Well, that is the key, Barry. In fact, the way that Mike McCallum is fighting Sean Mannion is flat-footed. And because Sean can't get inside, it's okay. And normally with an aggressive fighter, a southpaw, it's good to move around the ring. But I don't see no problem that Sean Mannion is making for Mike McCallum because he can't get inside due to the left jab of McCallum.
And the fact is, Mannion is not a guy who you would have to consider to be a knockout puncher. He's had his share, but he is not a guy who you really have to worry about knocking you out.
That's something to also look forward to. You notice when Sean Mannion reaches inside, the right hand grazed his chin.
That was a very good, quick right hand thrown by McCallum when Mannion did get in. And there's a great shot to the body. Remember Mike McCallum's nickname, the body snatcher. He's making good on that right now. He's going downstairs to the body, and he did hurt Mannion a moment ago with a good, solid left hand.
In fact, Mannion wasn't, he didn't agree with the fact he was hit, you know, while the guys were clinching. And the rabbit punch that McCallum hit him with.
And Tony Perez.
It might help him, Barry. A little anger, a little more energy, and the fact that being frustrated might help Sean Mannion in this fight. Because, like, as of now, he's not doing anything. He's retreating, and against a fighter, the right hand there, a fighter like the caliber of Mike McCallum, he just asking for trouble.
Every time Mannion does get inside, and McCallum holding and hitting there, and we'll see if he doesn't get a warning here from Perez for hooking. He does not.
That was a beautiful series of right uppercuts thrown by McCallum.
And when Mannion gets inside, he gets the worst of it. So he almost has no place to go. Coming down toward the end of the second round.
We're going into Mike McCallum's corner. Mike McCallum hasn't done anything wrong to this moment. Mannion isn't even in the fight. And in the corner of Mike McCallum is the veteran trainer and manager Lou Duva, and this is his first time in the ring with McCallum.
Now you're handling it beautiful. Now remember, head it out. Remember, everything is a target. Now you're forgetting that, right? Got me?
You're boxing beautiful out there, Mike. That jab is working you in the body punch just a little more, baby.
Now you ain't got to look for nothing. Remember that. Come on, right?
Now let's take a look at the body shot there to the right side, and he'll come back over the top and then come back on the other side. There's a shot. It's a borderline shot, but not a low blow. So far, Mannion doesn't have any answers for what McCallum is giving him, and he may duck into a right hand here soon, trying to get away from the body shots and the left, Ray.
Well, that replay also indicated that Mannion does not like it to the body. And I'm sure that McCallum's going to go right back to the body and try to hurt him, and then put those beautiful combinations together and get him out of there.
McCallum has been very workmanlike and very effective through the first two rounds. There's another good right hand. McCallum showing a good ability with both hands. Very patient fighter so far.
Okay, very good.
I'm waiting for a counter right hand by McCallum to come into play because, again, Barry, Mannion is still running in with that chin exposed.
All right, break, break. No holding or hitting. Come on, come back.
McCallum getting inside once more. You saw for a moment the right hand of Mannion drop.
I still see that Mannion does not like it to the body. And I don't see why McCallum's not staying there.
Well, he went right back to it there, and once more you could just see the arms drop. No question that he's hurt by those body shots.
He should work, McCallum should work to the body and come up with a counter right hand.
Puffiness around the right eye of Sean Mannion started in the first round. Mannion fighting like a confused fighter at the moment, and as Larry Merchant mentioned, he has no place to go. It's pretty hard to hide in that square, isn't it?
It's so small. In fact, especially when your man is aggressive.
All right.
And what McCallum's doing now is a beautiful job. He's working that jab. It's a thing of beauty.
And there's a left hand by Mannion. There was a surprise, and that'll get his attention.
Will also get some respect from Mike McCallum. And that's what Sean needs to do. He needs to take the initiative and throw his own punches.
There's a little bit of blood on the bottom part of the right eye alongside the bridge of the nose of Sean Mannion. And another good right hand body shot. McCallum has come back from that one left hand by Mannion. And those downstairs shots are really taking their toll.
Mannion definitely has to fire back.
want to remind you that on November 9th, we will be back for World Championship Boxing. Larry Holmes puts his title on the line against James Bone Crusher Smith. He handed Mike Bruno, who was a bright hope from Great Britain, a devastating defeat. That really catapulted him right into the limelight. It takes place Friday, November 9th. We'll have it live, 10 o'clock Eastern. I'll be there with my cohort, Sugar Ray Leonard and Larry Merchant. That's live. Bone Crusher Smith challenges IBF champion Larry Holmes, who'll try to make it 46 straight.
Look, don't go straight back on the line. You understand now? Don't go straight back. That's what he needs this. He's a dirty son of a gun. Push him. He's rushing you. Gentlemen, push him and go after him. Come on.
Sean Mannion has a look in his eyes as he knows better than anyone who's telling him that he's overmatched right now. He's a brave, he's a spirited fighter, and he'll hang in there as long as he can. But he appears to be overmatched.
McCallum has been pacing up since the first round. Every round a little bit more active, a little bit busier, throwing a few more punches. And he scored effectively right from the opening bell.
Well, the third round was a good round for Sean Mannion. At least he fired back. He threw punches, and he gained a little respect. Again, he just nailed McCallum with that lead-off left.
And once again,
you notice now also, McCallum's not just rushing in anymore. He's starting to wait. He's starting to think now.
Mannion starting to find the range a little bit here in round number 4.
And normally fighting southpaw, brother, is very awkward because this guy is doing just the opposite. And the reason it's somewhat easy for McCallum is because of his height and his reach advantage. He's able to throw punches without getting off balance.
Both men in our conversations yesterday say they have trained to go the distance, 15 rounds, even though neither one would like to particularly. Mannion breathing through his mouth a little bit here in the 4th round. And again, that jab bothering it.
Sean Mannion needs to be first. He needs to get his punches off first. Fortnite, he's a shorter fighter. His arms are shorter. He needs to get inside. He has to be the one to work and dictate the fight.
That left hand shot by the head of McCallum.
All good.
Hand, but that one did not appear to hurt McCallum. Might have been a little bit short with it.
But what's happening now with McCallum, he's starting to telegraph his punches. And he's going straight back, which is wrong because a fighter like Mannion gains momentum, he comes straight in, and he's able to catch with those lead-off left hands.
Counter punch by McCallum.
This is when Mannion needs to fire back inside. While McCallum's throwing his combinations, Mannion should be throwing his.
That's the end of the 4th round.
You're boxing big, brother. Come on. Let's get this. The guy hitting with this. You gotta carry your hands right here. When he fires at you, look.
Sit down, Michael.
Get over from that left cross that he's throwing. See, let it go over your shoulder.
You get this?
Come on now, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Come on, deep breathing. Now listen. Carry your hands a little higher, because he's hitting you with that damn punch. Right? Now when you're close to him, when you touch him with your right hand, come back with your hook. So you're throwing one punch. You understand? Come back with your hook, but come to the back.
Let's see, Mannion did come up with an answer here in this round. There was a right jab that landed, and he landed a couple of straight left hands, lead left hands in that round. He didn't win the round, but he did give McCallum something to think about.
So we start the 5th round, and we'll see if round 4 didn't give Mannion a little bit of confidence. no further blood from underneath the eye. So whatever the problem was, they have managed to stop it pretty much. Still a puffiness around Mannion's eye, but it does not appear to be cut.
That too should bother McCallum. Those little head feints, body feints. Mannion can hit McCallum, and I don't know why he's not doing it. Continue to do it, brother.
Every time Mannion does get inside, McCallum gets him out of there in a hurry. That was a good right hand by McCallum. And Mannion comes right back with a right hand of his own.
All right, break. Break. All right, break.
The left jab of Mike McCallum has been doing a job on the right eye rather, of Sean Mannion's. Seems to be a slight swelling above the right eye.
All right, break. No holding and hitting. Okay. Two hands free all the time. Two hands free all the time.
Coming down toward the 1 minute mark here. Minute and 10 seconds remaining in the 5th round.
With the tools that Sean Mannion possesses, he needs to make more of a fight out of this, more of a brawl, a barroom brawl out of this fight. He needs to make McCallum exchange punches, and hopefully he'll get lucky. But on the outside, he's asking for a lot of trouble due to the left jab, the beautiful left jab of Mike McCallum, which has been doing a great job on that right eye of Sean Mannion.
Mannion trying to get inside, but McCallum has just been able to keep him off of him just enough. There was a straight right hand right on the nose. Best punch of the fight for McCallum. And Mannion is hurt. Mannion trying to tie his man up, just keep him off him as best he can. 10 seconds remaining here. Some of the sting seems to have gone from Mannion after that good straight right hand. And that was low.
There's the right hand off a lazy left, and he came back with a hard, straight right hand with McCallum. The best blow of the fight to this far. Straight right hand.
Ice on the eye. Ice on the eye. That's it. Ice on the eye, Bill.
You can put as much as you want, but those ones short, so wipe it down a little bit. There you go.
Yes, do me a favor. Let's go back down and take these clothes. Stay on the low base.
Mannion's main consolation right now is that he's getting $75,000 for this fight, by far the biggest purse of his career. And McCallum is only getting $30,000. I'll explain why later on.
You saw that swelling on the eyelid of Sean Mannion, and that could really cause him some problems, Ray, I would think.
Oh, yes, and I have first-hand experience, because as the rounds progress, the eye has to get worse. And which means Sean needs to go to work. Sean Mannion definitely needs to go to work.
McCallum unmarked here. This is the 6th round. McCallum doing pretty much what he has to do here.
Again, Barrett, that left jab, it's coming out. And it's coming out now. It's coming out more frequently than the earlier rounds. But it's more of a snap jab. You know, it's an open glove.
Just trying to pester Mannion, keep that jab on his eye if he can.
swelling can only get worse. And the reason for the open glove jab, it comes out quicker. It reaches the target faster.
And he's got it zeroed in pretty well in that eye of Sean Mannion. McCallum looks like a fighter who's just trying to pick his spots right at the moment.
Well, McCallum is very content at this point just to throw the left jab and try to get that right hand in. The right eye of Sean Mannion seems to be getting worse. And it's due to the left jab. Once again, the left jab has worked beautifully for Mike McCallum.
It's been very effective, particularly in this round. There's a left hand by Mannion that did get into the head of Mike McCallum.
You know, Barry, what I see...
And another left hand.
Mannion does not come to life until he's hurt. That's when he starts throwing his punches and starts becoming aggressive.
McCallum definitely seems susceptible. McCallum, and another. And I think you're right, Ray. Every time Mannion gets stung, it seems to wake him up a little bit. And once again,
there it is again.
Mannion fighting back.
That was Mannion's best round.
You're starting to feel good now. Yeah. I told you what I tell you. That day you're going to feel good? Yep. Okay, now you feel like a man. See, you had to get heated up, you know. Now you can go from here on in. Now look. Now your hands good now. Any fucking thing you see, I told you. You understand? Now when he covers up, look. My head? You all right? You're way ahead. You're way ahead. Now look.
There's a right hand by McCallum that woke Mannion up, and he came back with a right and a left. And here's another combination. There's a straight left hand. Straight left. If he had some power, that might have done him some good, but it did add points, and he probably took that round.
Sean Mannion's corner, they were saying, you're starting to feel good, aren't you? And Mannion agreed that he did. So let's see what happens now in round 7.
Really?
That's what he said.
It also seems to me that Sean is having trouble breathing because he is breathing from the mouth.
And he has been doing that actually since the 4th round. We pointed that out. Mannion trying to throw punches in combination a little bit more. Now missed with the right hand. McCallum just seems to be in control of the fight, Ray, but every now and then he just seems to get a little careless.
Well, things seem to be going his way for a while, and McCallum just gets a little too relaxed and too careless. And that's a perfect time for Mannion to take advantage of it. I would imagine it would be easier for Sean Mannion to fight McCallum against the ropes, and not in the middle of the ring.
Right hand by Mannion, best of that exchange.
Mannion hits McCallum with the shot, and he moves away instead of taking it to him. Now he should stay there. This is when Sean Mannion should stay inside and continue to fight and continue to throw punches.
That swelling has not gotten appreciably worse in the last couple of rounds. Inside a minute to go. There's a good left hand by McCallum. McCallum has picked the pace up a little bit here. Right hand by McCallum.
With those right uppercuts, they're beautiful shots to throw against a southpaw. But she come back with a beautiful left uppercut and a left hook. Back to the body with McCallum.
And Mannion did stay in there that time, but he couldn't get anything off.
Well, he waited too late too, Barry.
Here's Mustafa Hamsho, Syrian middleweight via New York. I'm told that he prayed for 20 minutes a little bit earlier. Starting to get himself loose. Mustafa Hamsho.
Wipe his nose. Yeah. Take this, Bill, will you? Okay. You understand now? Rub his leg. Come on, Bill. Let's get him going. Come on, we're going to win this. Come on, go out there and fight this guy. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on.
To finish what I was saying earlier, Mannion is getting $75,000 because he has a promotional contract with Bob Arum. McCallum is getting $30,000 because he refused to sign a promotional contract with Arum, and in which case he would have gotten $75,000. And that's an expression of his confidence that if he wins the title, why, he'll be a free agent and be able to get better deals for himself.
And when was the last time you can remember a total between two men of $105,000 in a championship fight, right?
There you go.
You made that in the locker room, didn't you?
Well, a few times. But Barry, you know, it's starting to take its toll. Those punches are starting to take a toll on Sean Mannion. I mean, his face now is starting to be worn. His nose seems to be slight, well, good right hand.
Very good right hand. Mannion's hurt. Tries to fight back. McCallum is on him. Mannion got a left hand in, and that backed McCallum off.
Slight swelling on the bridge of the nose of Sean Mannion.
A jab now working to the face very effectively of Mike McCallum. Mannion throwing a lot more arm punches than he was earlier.
That was a beautiful right uppercut by McCallum.
All right, break. Step back clean. Come on, that's it.
Tempo of the fight dictated by Mike McCallum almost from the opening bell.
This is also the classic confrontation, boxing against the puncher, the slugger. And for Sean Mannion, it's been tough because he's yet to figure out a way to get through to the left jab of Mike McCallum.
Okay, break. That's it, good.
This for the WBA Junior Middleweight Championship, a title, incidentally, that Sugar Ray Leonard once held. I don't know how many folks remember that.
I remember, Barry.
Beat Ayub Kaluli. I remember, too.
Now, that was a beautiful shot now. That was arm punch to the head.
Mannion seems ready to go to me. He's a little bit rubbery here. And McCallum just peppering him.
Sean Mannion at this point has just become a stationary target.
He's a tired fighter, that is certain, as we come to the end of the round.
You've got to punch. You're not doing it. You understand? You're letting this guy. Give him a deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. Rub his leg.
Let's take a look at a combination here. There's a hard right hand by McCallum. A good uppercut. And here's another view of it. McCallum is a very good mechanical fighter. Whether he has the sizzle, whether he has the killer instinct, the personality to be better than just a good mechanical fighter remains to be seen. That's always been the question mark behind his name.
You got that right hand to the body, you understand? Yep.
Come right back with that left hook. All right, baby, come on.
Keep the jab going, you understand? Now look, keep your hands up.
We come to the 9th round. Perhaps a little bit of confusion in the corner of Mike McCallum. A couple of voices being heard. One, that of Dan Duva, who has not been with him for a long period of time. Lou Duva, I beg your pardon.
Well,
Dan,
they see an opportunity. Well, they see an opportunity, and they got just too excited, and he was instructed to do a couple things, which is very confusing for a fighter. But I think due to the experience of Mike McCallum, he knows exactly what to do.
Well, as you've often said, you don't hear any of that anyway.
No, you don't.
McCallum doing a blue-collar job on Sean Mannion, pretty much, just doing what he has to do. A mechanical performance, and as Iron Merchant said, perhaps not a true test of just how good this fighter is, but nevertheless, he's been workmanlike, and he's getting the job done. And a W is a W, and a championship's a championship. Shouldn't go on this way.
The straight punches will not do this job for Mike McCallum. I think the uppercuts will come into play and be very effective. The left hook, the right uppercuts, but just put them together. The left jab is just setting Sean Mannion up for an uppercut or left hook.
And Mannion coming up with a very solid shot. And McCallum is on rubber legs now. And now let's see if Mannion can keep it up here. He definitely hurt Mike McCallum.
That is taking a 180.
Just like that.
Just because Mannion was hurt, he just fired up.
McCallum on his bicycle now, trying to get his legs back. May have him. And that brought the crowd alive. So it wasn't too terribly long ago that it looked like Mannion's legs were gone, and then just like that, he turned the thing around here, at least for the briefest of moments.
Well, Barry, with the way this fight's been going now, it's somewhat unpredictable of the outcome.
Mannion trying to lean in and taking some pretty good shots from McCallum in the process.
Again, Mannion fights back after he's been hit by Mike McCallum.
Coming down toward the end of the 9th round.
Well, as Ray's been saying, the impressive thing, the only impressive thing about Mannion through this fight has been that when he's hit, instead of falling back, he fires back. And that's a good sign. That's something you do want to see in a fighter, even when he's outgunned like this. Now here's the combination from McCallum that was led up to that good punch that Mannion finally did land, and he seemed to momentarily daze McCallum.
And you saved them. You understand this, David? Okay.
Puffiness under the left eye of Sean Mannion now as well.
Come on, let's go, come on.
as Mike McCallum started to come to the center of the ring without his mouthpiece.
All right, break.
Mike McCallum actually had a similar incident happen to him back in October of 1983 when he was fighting Manuel Jimenez in Atlantic City. Seemed to be sailing toward a victory, which he ultimately got. But he was stunned by Jimenez in the 6th round, and just like that, Mannion goes down, but they say no knockdown.
Why is he pushing? I know you didn't mean it that way.
This fight could possibly end up as far as who in the best shape. And the referee warned Mike McCallum for pushing Sean Mannion down. That takes a lot of energy also, Barry.
Mannion, watch your head, okay?
And it's really unnecessary.
Mannion will have to do it on guts if he's going to do it. Got a left hand in there. Should point out the fact that neither of these men has fought beyond the 10-round distance, and here they are now in round number 10.
Again, this is when Sean Mannion should go to work. He should be throwing punches now instead of holding on.
Mannion missed with the left, got a right home. Seems Mannion would prefer a brawl. McCallum not really willing to give it to him.
Well, Barry, that's exactly what Mannion does best. Inside, he fights well inside. On the outside, he's run into a lot of problems with a boxer like Mike McCallum.
McCallum waited for Mannion to straighten up that time, then threw the right hand out.
I see fatigue in both fighters now. In fact, the way that Mike McCallum's throwing his punches, they're becoming arm punches now. And he's off balance. He's walking in, he's making a mistake. Mike McCallum is making a mistake of just walking in straight up.
Suddenly this fight is becoming one at close range.
This is when Sean Mannion should connect.
And he got a left hand in there, and he might have hurt McCallum again. McCallum tries to spin him around, get him out of there with that jab, and does so. Punching right hand by Mannion again at the bell.
Hey, Mike, don't get careless. You're careless. Don't get careless. Now, look, Mike, don't stay in this guy's body. Mike, this guy is dead. You understand?
You're hearing McCallum's corner.
Now, look, don't be in no hurry.
As you can see, neither fighter has gone as far as he's going to be required to go for the rest of this fight. Neither fighter has gone more than 10 rounds.
Just keep on winning these rounds. You understand?
Earlier tonight, Steve McCrory, the Olympic flyweight champion, made his professional debut, an impressive 4th-round TKO over Jeff Hanna. There is the face of a fighter.
Round 11, and it appears this one will be won or lost on guts. Mike McCallum seemingly in command of this fight, but every time you really think he's going to put him away, up jumps Sean Mannion.
For some reason, Mannion gains a resurgence of strength from somewhere, and he connects. And then all of a sudden he slows down, and then McCallum's able to land with that good left jab like he did there.
And Mannion has not been able to back up a good solid punch so far. His punches have been the harder of the two, and McCallum really came in here with more of the reputation as a puncher.
Signs of frustration on Sean Mannion's face. He shakes his head every time he's hit by the left jab.
McCallum's corner telling him to keep going downstairs, just keep winning the rounds, don't get careless. He seems to be well in front in this fight.
Okay, break. Get back clean. Both of you. Okay, good.
Halfway through this 11th round, as you see.
All right, break. No punching. Step back. No punching. Step back.
The crowd will react more to Sean Mannion's punches as he has brought a gang of people down from the Boston area.
Now it's a lot of movement from Mike McCallum. And what Mannion should do, he should resort to a body attack. Slow that movement down.
Mannion has been breathing through his mouth since the 4th round. It does not seem to have affected him very much.
Okay, break. No punching. Step back clean. There you go.
Well, it's apparent, Barry, that both men are in fantastic shape. First time they've been past 10, and they still look good.
McCallum up on his toes a little bit more in this round, showing a little bit more leg speed.
All right, break. Watch the head, both of you, okay? Watch your head. All right.
Look, you've got to back him up. The only way
inside.
This is Mike McCallum.
Kick off on inside. Smack your hands out. Spit out. Kick off. Spit out. The guy don't want to do nothing inside. You understand?
We're listening to Georgie Benton, famous trainer from Philadelphia, there with Lou Duva.
Now, when you get close, go to work. Win it with the jab on outside.
There you see on your right, Mr. Mannion before the fight, and on the left, after 11 rounds of action. That little face job, of course, will get him $75,000. You mentioned that his corner has told Mike McCallum not to get careless. Frankly, guys, I'd like to see him get a little careless or a little reckless. So what has he got to lose? Mannion can't hurt him.
He does a better job when he's careless. In fact, he scored more punches.
His corner this round telling him that he has to back Mannion up.
Right. Step back clean. No punching. Let's go. Quit.
Mannion really hasn't had to go any kind of a distance. He's only had one fight since October 25th of 1983. That was the fight we spoke of a few moments ago with Manuel Jimenez. Since that time, he's had only one fight, and that only went 1 round. So he's been largely inactive, and yet
I can't understand it, Barry. Now Mannion's fighting a very intelligent fight now. I mean, he's moving, he's jabbing to the body, he's feinting, and he's connecting. Why he wait until the 12th round, I'll never know.
bit of a low blow there by McCallum, but Mannion is still right in his face. And Mannion backs off from a right hand by McCallum.
Mannion's ready to go to me. He's been hit by the right hand, although it has not been a clean punch. He's still been able to daze Mannion for a second.
I thought that 4 rounds ago. Mannion's legs look a little rubbery to me. They don't look any worse now than they did then to me.
Well, his greatest attribute is a durable chin Mannion has. But again, Barry, he just seems to be wearing down to me. I think if McCallum just go to work, there's a great possibility he'll be able to get Mannion out of there.
McCallum was on his toes the last round. This round, he's back flat-footed.
again, you notice that there was a slight delay when Mannion was hit. He just stood there.
And Mannion covering up a little bit more now. McCallum having things pretty much his own way at the moment.
It was delayed reaction from Mannion.
Little trickle of blood from the nose of Sean Mannion now. First sign of blood that we've seen in the last 6 or 7 rounds.
Okay, good.
So we come down toward the end of the 12th round, and once more, Mike McCallum just getting the job done.
They should check the nose of Sean Mannion.
There's a good right hand by McCallum.
He's ready to go, Barry.
And he's hurt from that uppercut. That definitely hurt him. 5 seconds remaining.
All right, break. Okay, break. That's it,
Hello, this is Sean Mannion.
You want to make sure you're right. Okay. Don't blow your nose, kid. Over here. Wipe his nose. Wipe his nose. Come on, come alive. Oh, look. You got to knock this guy out to win. You got to push him, abuse him, bite him, kick him. I don't care. All right? You understand? You're going too late with this guy. Watch it. Don't move your head too quick. Understand? You got to push him.
Here's Mike McCallum at work. 2 right hands, a third right hand. There's a left uppercut, and a right cross, a right uppercut, and a left cross, a left hook. Sean Mannion is in the rich tradition over the decades of Irish boxers who try to compensate with heart and cleverness for a lack of power.
Sean's corner instructed him to push him, bite him, and everything else, but I think it's just a little bit too late for that.
Well, the face that Sean Mannion looks at in the mirror tomorrow while he's shaving will not resemble the one that looked at him this morning.
All right, stand over there.
And Mike McCallum starts off as though he wants to end right here.
McCallum needs to stop throwing those looping right hands and start throwing some right uppercuts.
Blood pretty profuse now from the nose of Mannion, who covers up again and once more looks as though he may be ready to go.
Hold it! Hold the action. Break. Get back.
That right eye of Mannion, too. It's starting to swell from the bottom.
Very puffy underneath the right eye. And, of course, with blood coming from the nose, which appears to be broken, breathing becomes increasingly difficult.
Get back. No pushing. Get back clean.
Well, man, he's huffing and puffing now. And basically, he's just fighting from the heart. And that's why I have to take my hat off to him. I mean, he has a great deal of desire to win. But I think at this point now, it looks a little hopeless.
And he covers up once more. We're at the midway point.
Those little sneak uppercuts by Mike McCallum.
Every one of those got through to the face of Sean Mannion.
It doesn't look like much, but they're very effective and do a great deal of damage.
Break.
And the eye now virtually closed. That is the right eye of Sean Mannion. Crowd sensing that the end is in sight.
Mannion is still in the fight. I mean, although I would suggest him stop it, but still, he hangs in there after being hit. The body shots thrown by Mike McCallum has taken their toll. Mannion remains a stationary target, just taking the uppercuts, the right hands, left hooks.
Taking a lot of punishment, now saying, come on and fight.
He's trying to psych his man.
And he's taking a lot of shots here.
Oh, he's ready to go. He's ready
Perez
to go.
taking a good long look here.
It's all instinct now. What McCallum needs to do is take his time and not rush himself and pick his shots. They should stop it there. I really feel that at this point now, this man definitely should not continue to fight.
The nose is pretty nasty. He has no chance of winning. Other than sheer pride, there's really no reason to go on with this.
They should stop this fight.
Okay.
Sean Mannion has bent, but he refuses to break. We should point out now that under the rules here in New York and in WBA Championship fights now, a ringside physician is empowered to stop the fight.
Tie this guy up when he does that. You understand? Go forward. Don't let him do that to you.
And he is being examined by the ringside physicians right now.
You understand? This is a dog fight. You're going to fight this guy, an alley fight. You understand? An alley fight. Okay. Give him water. Water.
Take your time. The guy's done. You understand? Now just take your time and
your nose and out your mouth.
Now take your time. Take your time.
Stay back, stay back, stay back.
Sean Mannion shaking his head, trying to get the cobwebs out. His corner telling him he wants you in an alley fight.
14.
Ring doctor did talk with Tony Perez, the referee. And we'll see how far this goes on. Ray, I know you feel it should have been stopped already.
Yeah, but I mean, really, the guy's been hit by some tremendous shots. And these punches like that, devastating shots, they take their toll on the fighter, especially his career and even his health. Sean has demonstrated he has a lot of heart. But enough is enough, really, because McCallum now is just picking the shots.
One of our number here at HBO did overhear the conversation between the ring physician and Tony Perez, the referee, and there seemed to be an indication that Perez would not let this go too far.
Okay, break.
Another good right hand by Mike McCallum.
That right hand zeroed in on his chin.
Really hurt.
Just watch the legs of Sean Mannion, and you can see the conditions he's in.
Another good right hand by McCallum. He pushes him away.
All right, break. Right back to him, both of you.
Tony Perez looking very closely midway through the 14th round.
Push him away.
Again, those body shots Sean Mannion doesn't like. Beautiful left jab.
McCallum just doing it at will now. Mannion, all guts. But that's really a backhanded compliment.
All right, push him away. 2-3.
If McCallum wants to get his man out, all he has to do is cut the ring off, work that body again, bring those uppercuts back to the chin, and he'll see a major change in this entire fight.
Break lane.
45 seconds remaining here in the 14th round. It appears, at least at the moment, that Sean Mannion will survive yet another storm.
Again, a beautiful right hand delivered by Mike McCallum. I think Mike McCallum's getting a little arm weary from throwing so many shots. And I guess he can't believe this guy's taking it.
Took another good right hand from McCallum, did Sean Mannion. McCallum pushing him away in the face. And Tony Perez reminds him of that inside of 10 seconds.
All right, break. Break.
Okay, come on, take it.
This is it, kid. You gotta go out and fight like a dog. This is an alley fight. You're listening. Do you hear me? Fight like a dog. All right? Back him up and fight.
Have your hands up good now. Stick the guy. Keep pushing him back. Don't let the guy come forward. Now look. Hey. Now why you all you got to do to this guy now is throw straight right hands to the body, hit the guy on the arms.
You can hit him. It's an alley fight. You understand? Go after it. Last one.
But don't be in no hurry to do these things. Right? Now you're going to try to swing at this guy's head, you're going to look bad. All right?
Sean Mannion has 3 minutes. Mike McCallum has 3 minutes to a championship.
Okay, break. Get back, Lynn. Get back, Lynn.
2 Sean Mannion will have earned his $75,000 in this fight.
Well, Sean Mannion now is starting to take the full impact of the punches because through fatigue, he's starting to fall into the blows. So they're much more devastating now. You see there, Barry, he's running to his left jab, right hand.
Two minutes remaining in this one. And McCallum straightens Mannion right up with an uppercut.
All right, break. No punching. Get back. Okay, go.
When Sean Mannion is hit, it's like a delayed reaction. He doesn't react until later on.
Hold it. No punching. No punching. Okay, good.
See the concentration in Mike McCallum's eyes. He's waiting for that right hand.
Got a short right hand right there that backed Mannion off once again. Mannion takes a deep breath. He's still got a half a round to go.
Watch for that right hand again to the head. And it's going to be thrown like a right hook.
Mannion got a lunging left hand in, but there's not much left there.
Hold it. No punching. Get back.
1 minute left in this fight.
Hold it. Watch your head, Mannion. Okay, watch that head come in, okay?
Mannion still trying to do a job here.
Well, I guess everyone can see that Sean Mannion has the heart of a lion, but also he's outclassed by a good boxer like Mike McCallum.
All right, break, Lynn.
McCallum, meanwhile, is just 15 seconds away from a championship, junior middleweight championship. And Sean Mannion will survive this one. And Mike McCallum will be the champion.
Good fight. I got it. You got the title, baby.
So in the ring, I don't think there's any question about this one. Oftentimes, you don't like to jump the officials and say, how's this one going to go? But in this case, I don't think there's any question about it. Class one out here.
Well, I think the fact of the matter is, they should have stopped the fight in 13 rounds. I personally feel. I'll take my hand off to Sean Mannion. I mean, he stayed in there, but he was totally outclassed.
You're terrific. You got the mouthpiece?
Really no contest in this fight, almost right from the outset. The story of this fight was really written in the first chapter, and that was McCallum's jab on the right side of the head of Mannion.
Well, it was an artistic fight for Mike McCallum, and I think the most devastating punches were the uppercuts. He was able to land the right uppercut, left uppercut. I want you to buy it. That beautiful left uppercut thrown there by Mike McCallum did a lot of damage to the eyes of Sean Mannion.
Very effective jab that McCallum had, and it really kept Mannion off him, and the only way Mannion was going to be in this fight at all was to get inside, and he was really by and large unable to do that.
But then again, Barry, on the other side, he was capable because a lot of times when he was hurt, he would fire back.
So Mike McCallum will be the WBA Junior Middleweight Champion of the World, a title, as we mentioned, that Sugar Ray Leonard held by way of beating Ayub Kaluli. Should also mention that Mike McCallum also beat Ayub Kaluli, knocked him out in the 7th round. Just how good Mike McCallum is, we might not really know until another fight, maybe 2 fights.
Well, he's growing, he's developing, and he's going to improve. He's going to get stronger, and you're going to see a lot of Mike McCallum.
He did say, as a matter of fact, and I think we mentioned it near the top of this fight, that his toughest fights have come in a gym at Kronk, where there are an awful lot of pretty good fighters. One, of course, sitting right behind us tonight, Tommy Hearns.
There's so much talent in the Kronk Gymnasium, and the fact that I can agree with that.
There is, however, a little bit of trouble in paradise so far as Mike McCallum and Emmanuel Stewart and Kronk are concerned. Stewart was not at his corner tonight. Lou Duva was. There's a look at Tommy Hearns looking on. And he saw a guy who was a very creditable performer tonight. Tommy affecting the designer glasses. And next to him, Milt McCrory, who saw his brother in very impressive fashion in his professional debut tonight. And these two guys can laugh. They are both champions. Tommy Hearns, of course, here to see Marvelous Marvin Hagler. That fight upcoming live from here in Madison Square Garden. And Hearns can only lick his chops and lick his wallet, for that matter, at the prospects of that fight. Meanwhile, we await the official decision here. Mike McCallum obviously thinks that he's won the fight. If pictures are 1,000 words, you only have to look at Sean Mannion on one side of the ring and Mike McCallum on the other to know who won and who lost this fight. Right now, let's go up to the ring announcer, Michael Buffer, and get the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. Here is the official scoring. Judge Johnny Lobianco scores at 149-123. Judge Carol Castellano scores it 150-134, and Judge Carol Paula scores it 149-136 for the winner by unanimous decision and the new World Boxing Association Junior Middleweight Champion of the World, Mike the Body Snatcher McCallum.
He's a great, true champion. Good inspiration to all of the guys in the Kronk team, also to me. We had some great workouts in the gym. It's just that the little misunderstanding with the Duran fight. I felt that I'm getting old and #1 contender for a year and almost a half. I need my shot. So the only way I could do is get out there, get my shot.
Why couldn't you knock Sean Mannion out?
Sean is a durable fighter, very tough. I knew before the fight, going in the fight, that Sean was going to be a tough fight. I haven't fight for about 8 months, and I think that have a lot to do with me. And I came back, I did 50 rounds. I think I'm proud of myself. A little bit of time I get a little bit reckless in the middle part of the round, but get myself back together, and there was no stopping there. I knew I had to win the fight for Jamaica, myself. Jamaica hadn't had a champion in a long time. I'm the first champion, and I'm proud of that. Thanks to you people, Jamaica, I did it.
Thank you very much, and now back to Barry and Ray.
All right, thank you very much, Larry Merchant and Mike McCallum. What's in the future now? He's the kind of guy you have to feel could go up to middleweight, could probably even go down to welterweight if he chooses to.
Well, he's going to be around for a long time, and he can challenge the middleweights also.
All right, that brings us to the main event, an event that, of course, everyone, at least the champion, hopes will wind up exactly as it did the last time, and the champion...
I never liked the guy before, and I still don't like him. By him learning how to speak English better, he's only putting his foot in his mouth, because the more he talks, the more I'm willing to give him a smack.
Last fight, Hagler, he don't beat me. I beat myself, you know. Because when I fought him first time, I fought Hagler's fight. This time it's going to be different.
Hamsho is against the ropes, takes another right hand, and an uppercut. Hamsho's corner is out, and Marvin Hagler has retained his undisputed middleweight championship of the world. And now, after 3 long years, the rematch. It is a city which has always symbolized hope and prosperity in a free world, the heartbeat of international trade, and throughout history, the most prestigious arena for boxing's brightest stars. That tradition continues as live from Madison Square Garden in New York City, HBO Sports presents World Championship Boxing. And now the main event, the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, takes on #1 contender Mustafa Hamsho in a scheduled 15-round title fight. The excitement beginning to build as this historic landmark of boxing's illustrious past counts down the minutes to yet another championship fight. I'm Barry Tompkins with Ray Leonard and Larry Merchant. We're at the Garden, and we're looking forward to a replay of a fight really that was so lopsided in Chicago a couple of years ago. That between Marvelous Marvin Hagler, the middleweight champion of the world, and Mustafa Hamsho. Now, Ray, they tell us we're going to see a different Mustafa Hamsho this year, but can the Leopard change his spots?
I want to see that. I doubt very seriously, Barry, but they can add on. He can become more defensive and not remain a stationary target.
Marvin Hagler, of course, loves a guy who comes right at him, and that's exactly what Hamsho did the last time. But your feeling really is that we're going to see pretty much the same fight.
The same. It will be pretty much a replay, but we may see a much more aggressive and tougher Hamsho.
People are saying that Marvin Hagler has lost a little bit. What do you think?
I doubt very seriously. This man sitting here, Thomas Hearns, Hagler wants him. He's going to look good.
Well, over the years, we've gotten to know Marvelous Marvin Hagler here on HBO, but you know, he's really a part of a team that started with the dream of two brothers back in Brockton, Massachusetts. The modern athlete needs support. Professional football, baseball, and basketball players have well-dressed agents and a bevy of specialized coaches. But since the days of John L. Sullivan, boxing has remained an art whose skills are steeped in old, sweaty gyms. There are no three-piece suits at the negotiating table, and no computerized scouting reports. Only everyday people, the trainer and manager. Through years of loyalty and dedication, they dream of molding a champion. Brothers Pat and Goody Petronelli grew up in Brockton, Massachusetts. In the early 60s, after serving in the military, they decided to turn a love for boxing into their livelihood. They had hoped another native of Brockton would join them.
Brother Pat and I are going to open up a gym in Brockton. I said, go in construction and open up a gym. He says, how about me going in with you? I said, man, I said, love that. That'd be great, Rocky.
And we had a lot of beautiful ideas about running this huge gymnasium in Brockton called the Marciano Gym. Well, then, as you know the story, he got in that accident, he got killed. Then my brother and I went it without him.
So the old Petronelli Gym was born. A healthy stable of fighters came and went. But then a quiet teenager from the ghettos of Newark arrived.
I'm there working with the fighters as generally do, and he just sat there. Came in the next day. He sat down, he was watching. So I was in the ring one day, and I just looked over at him. I said, hey, kid, you want to learn how to fight?
And all I needed was a good teacher and somebody to show me what to do with these, you know.
And he did his homework well. He really did. What I taught him in there, he'd come back in again. It seemed like he picked up a lot quicker than the other kids.
His mind is made up what he wants to be. He'd get in the back room and he'd sign little autographs from the future middleweight champion of the world. And it's signed it as a kid, 16-year-old kid.
In 1980, that dream came true as Marvelous Marvin Hagler savagely beat middleweight champion Alan Minter. Goody, the trainer, and Pat, the manager, had a world champion. The Triangle, as they like to be called, had tougher decisions ahead. It's tough to win the title, tougher still to hold it. Think of the trainer as a head coach. He runs a fighter through conditioning programs and strategy sessions.
You can't learn from hitting any bag gloves. It's the same thing as just punching a bag where a bag don't hit back. This guy's got regular gloves on just like myself.
I pick out these so-called weak points and strong points, and I train Marvin specifically for it. The guy may be a hooker, or he may be throw overhand rights, whatever. We train for these particular fighters. How to counter these different punches, how to slip these different punches, and I think that's important. I'm coming at you this way. Bring him up in time.
He gets his body and his mind in the same condition, the same way that I do. He psychs himself up for this fighter the same way that I do. When I don't like Mustafa Hamsho, he don't like Mustafa Hamsho. When I'm running, he's running just as hard as I am. And there's one thing that's great to his advantage is that I can't cheat if he's there with me. And in order to make it, you're going to have to go through these brick walls. You're going to have to learn. You have to get knocked down in order to learn how to get back up and to keep striving.
On the night of a fight, both men work the critical fourth minute of the round. The corner work can win or lose a fight.
What are you doing? He's trying to throw that straight right hand, okay? So when you throw that jab, when he bends over, come up with that uppercut.
But if I'm making a mistake, I know that I have the confidence that he's going to point it out to me.
Now, don't get him slugging punch. Just beat him to the punch. Double up the jab. Quick punches. That's all I want you to do.
I don't have to holler at him or slap his face like a lot of guys do, because we don't need this here. We're well organized in the corner because we're prepared.
Don't get too discouraged now, Marvin. Uppercuts will work good on this guy, Marvin. You're slipping your hooks. Hold the uppercut. Get that snap and speed going now.
When Marvin's fighting in the ring, my brother and I lean over, two heads are better than one. He'll say, Pat, what do you think? And I'll say, geez, I think this and that. And when he comes back to that corner, I tell you, he gets the right answers.
So far, that success has been to the tune of about $15 million in 9 title defenses. But it should be noted that all has not been rosy. Lawyer Steve Wainwright was axed from the camp and subsequently sued the Petronellis for damages. Pat gives this advice to other camps.
Your fighter has to have faith in his people, not be suspicious of his people, 100% faith, and he's got to give you 100%, and you have to give your fighter 100%.
I'm able to open up to them, and they're still very honest to me, and I love them, like a father, and I think that I asked them just one thing, and that's not to hurt me, and not to give me any promises. You just open up the door, let me do it myself.
Every athlete needs good coaching. The accomplishments of Marvelous Marvin Hagler would not have surfaced without these two very special brothers.
Our lifestyle hasn't changed all that much. It's a dream that come true, and we're happy with it. And we have our dreams.
To this day, I enjoy what I'm doing. With this triangle, we have faith in each other all the way. We still have faith in each other. So Marvin is doing fine, and we'll still be together. And like we started, we're friends then, we're friends afterwards, and we have a nice team.
What is so beautiful about this family is that success does not spoil the bonds of friendship and love. Pat and Goody Petronelli should remain the trustworthy mentors of a very gifted athlete. This chain may never break, and all three can boast of a stake in that glorious word, champion. So an interesting look at Team Hagler, and coming up, the championship for the middleweight title between Marvelous Marvin Hagler and the challenger, Mustafa Hamsho. He lost it the last time. He hopes for better this time. But as always, we get a unique look at just about every championship fight we do here on HBO. It comes from none other than our resident maven, Larry Merchant. Larry?
Marvin Hagler has a dilemma, but it's a positive dilemma. He always has to prove himself. And he's used that, despite the fact that he's rich and famous and a champion, to keep the fire in his belly burning. When he was a contender, they said he wouldn't be box office. Wrong. When he was a champion, they said he couldn't handle pressure. Wrong. And Mustafa Hamsho has the scars to prove it. Then it was said that he dominated the middleweight division so much that it was bad for boxing. Wrong. Can you imagine what that division would have been like in recent years without him? And now they're saying that he's in decline. He's gone from invincibility to vulnerability. And that's what we're here to find out tonight, whether that's wrong. If indeed he doesn't fight as fiercely as he looks anymore, we might have a fight tonight. Because Mustafa Hamsho has traveled a long, hard road to get back in the ring with a guy who gave him a terrible beating. Either he's crazy or dangerous.
Only in America could such a dream come true. 10 years ago, Mustafa Hamsho made his way to the United States with only one thing in mind: to be champion of the world. He left his home in Latika, Syria, and worked on a Greek cargo ship at this dock in Brooklyn, New York. One day, with only $20 in his pocket and unable to speak a word of English, he left the ship and never returned.
First few months I get lost, The big city like that, I come from a small town to be up to New York is a very big step for me was.
He soon found his way to Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn, to an area rich in Arabic flavor.
I walk every day from here to Atlantic Avenue. I met a lot of guys. I met Sammy, he's my best friend now. I call him cousin.
Sammy turned out to be much more than Mustafa's first true friend in America. It was he who steered Mustafa to the Gramercy Park gym to pursue his boxing career. This was where he met Patty Flood, a robust character who had spent a lifetime in boxing, hoping one day to develop his own champion. Like father and son, the two bonded together almost as one.
I tell you, like a family. Me and him was like a family. I go eat in his house. I call his wife mother. I call his daughter sister. Like we was like really family with me and him. Like father and son, or two brothers, or older brother.
The two spent so much time together that sometimes Mustafa's love for the old country would almost drive Paddy crazy.
Every time we go in the car, I just put my music tape, and he starts singing Arabic. So he says, hey, he starts calling off, cursing me, and he says, stop the car when I work. So when I joke with him, I put the music on, and I put it loud, you know, he go crazy.
In 1981, after 6 years together, Paddy and Mustafa were on the verge of reaching their long-shared goal, a shot at the championship of the world.
For the undisputed World's Middleweight Championship, Mustafa Hamsho. His opponent, the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvin Hagler.
Hagler is really being like a surgeon, and Hamsho has taken it all. And Hamsho still does not appear to be hurt. He has taken an awful lot of punishment from the champion.
No, don't stop it. Then you go and knock him out this round, and I'm going to stop it. No.
Very, very damaging round. Hamsho's corner is up, and they're saying, that's it, that's all. Braverman is saying, stop it. The referee does so. The fight is over, and Marvin Hagler has retained his undisputed middleweight championship of the world. Mustafa may have lost the fight in the ring, but in his heart was more than a winner. Although Hagler left Hamsho in need of 55 stitches, the proud Syrian never took a step backward. But a year and a half later, Mustafa was dealt the worst blow of his life. Paddy Flood, his confidant, died of a stroke at the age of 48. Mustafa was devastated.
When I first get the call about him, you know, I can't believe it, you know, because I think a couple hours before I was talking to him. We laugh, we make fun about Larry Holm. He supposed, when he fought the Italian guy, and Flood, he makes jokes about everything. So I was in my house, and his wife, she called me, you know. My legs give up, and I go to the hospital. I don't want to remember the way I saw him, you know.
4 months later, Mustafa beat Wilfred Benitez with Paddy's initials inscribed on his trunks. He had returned to boxing not only for a dream that began on a Greek ship years ago, but in memory of his dearest friend, Paddy Flood.
Well, I wish Paddy's here. The dream between me and him, both of us, to be there when I win the championship. Because when I fought him first time, I fought Hagler's fighting. This time it's going to be different, and Paddy will be in my corner till I quit, I think, till I'll be retired from boxing. You can't believe 10 years ago, I was painted and clean the ship, and today where I am, you know. Living in America is great, you know.
For Mustafa Hamsho, America's the only place where such a dream could come true. A young Syrian's quest, which began years ago on this very dock, may finally become reality. A reality that lies just a few miles away. And here is that reality as Mustafa Hamsho makes his way out of his dressing room and toward the ring here at Madison Square Garden. This crowd at the Garden, really a vintage kind of crowd. They react positively, negatively. They love it if you do a good job, if you put on a good performance, as did both the combatants in the fight that you saw a few moments ago, Sean Mannion and the new champion, Mike McCallum. And they hate it if you dog it. Well, this man, you know, is not going to dog it. Last time he said simply, Hagler didn't beat me, I beat myself. He said, I wanted to show the people how tough I was, and he cut me up. We've talked on numerous occasions now about, are we going to see a different Mustafa Hamsho? General consensus of opinion is no, unless, of course, you ask the people who are closest to him. They said he held his head too high last time. Now he's burying his head more. He's bobbing more. He's weaving more. He'll throw more hooks. He never did that before. Well, here he comes, draped in the Syrian flag, into the ring. Look at Mustafa Hamsho's record, 38, but 2 losses. He has 2 draws, 23 knockouts. He'll be in Marvin Hagler's face, no question about that. Since the loss to Marvin Hagler, he's won 6 straight. He beat Curtis Parker, beat Gil Rosario on 2 occasions, beat Bobby Chaz. That was a good win for him. Handled Wilfred Benitez, and in a tune-up fight, he beat Rocky Shakespeare. So he's on a roll.
Well, he looks psyched up to me. I think he's really motivated. He wants to win, and win bad, Barry.
is Marvelous Marvin Hagler's want, he will let his man stay in the ring a little bit and just think about it. Larry, what do you think about his victories over Chaz and Benitez? Is it a new fighter that we're seeing?
It's hard to say. He just overpowered those fighters. The way he overpowered Benitez shocked a lot of people. And it indicated that he is the worthy #1 contender. A lot of guys lose a fight. They want to come back 6 months, 8 months later and fight the guy. But this guy did it the hard way. He went out there. He fought for 3 years. He's a real professional. You have to admire that in him. He's fighting for the biggest purse of his life tonight, $450,000. And he's using just about everything he can to get himself inspired. He's got the flag of his country. He's wearing a robe made by the wife of the late Patty Flood, who was his manager.
He said, in fact, when he beat Benitez, that Patty Flood was with him. He said, I saw him in front of me. He was pushing me. He was saying, don't let him out of the corner. Keep your punches down. Punch to the body. Well, that's what he did, and he won. Now, whether or not he can do that against Marvelous Marvin Hagler tonight remains to be seen. It wasn't just a victory for Marvin Hagler the last time these two saw each other in Chicago. It was a slaughter, and I think that's a fair way to describe it. Hamsho had not won a round on any of the judges' cards. We talked about the 55 stitches. It was just a completely one-sided fight.
Yeah, I think we ought to remember that the conventional wisdom at the time is that Hagler couldn't handle pressure because of his fight with Vito Antuofermo, in which there was a draw. And he was advised to go straight at Hagler. Now, perhaps he won't be that reckless and that foolish as much tonight, but it remains to be seen if he has any other weapons, if he doesn't have to fight the best way he can, and what got him here, which is that kind of pressure or tactics.
And Marvelous Marvin Hagler comes under the HBO Sports banner and makes his way toward the ring. You saw 34 victories in a row for Marvin Hagler since way back in 1976. Give you a couple of names that will be trivia questions at some point in time. Boogaloo Watts and Willie the Worm Monroe. Those were the only two people to beat Marvin Hagler.
A couple of tough Philadelphia guys in Philadelphia. And later, Marvin Hagler reversed those decisions with knockouts.
And they came within 2 months of one another. Boogaloo Watts winning in January, and then Willie Monroe winning in March. Since that time, he's unscathed. This, the 10th title defense. There are the numbers on Marvelous Marvin Hagler. 49 knockouts, even though he doesn't really consider himself a knockout puncher. Right now, we'll look at the tail of the tape and see how these two match up against one another, as Hagler, one thing, always comes into the ring very warm. That's something that Sugar Ray Leonard has talked about on numerous occasions here. Here's a look at how they match up, and they match up remarkably comparably.
Statistically.
Statistically. And that, of course, may be the key point of this entire evening. So it's Marvelous Marvin Hagler against Mustafa Hamsho. Here's a look at the opponents who they have faced in common, and the results are also pretty much in common. Alan Minter, of course, Marvelous Marvin Hagler won his fight with Alan Minter to win the title. He beat Wilfred Scipion. Hamsho won over Scipion on a disqualification. Right now, we'll go to the ring announcer, Michael Buffer, for the pre-fight festivities. Michael?
Please remain standing, ladies and gentlemen, as James Williams from D-Train sings America the Beautiful. Harold Letterman from New York and Vinnie Rainoni from New Jersey. Two physicians at ringside are Dr. Earl Slaw and Dr. William Latham. The timekeeper is Freddie Albatello, and counting for the knockdown seconds, Tony Perez. The referee for this championship bout is Arthur Mercanti from New York. And now let's get ready to rumble. This is it. 15 rounds for the undisputed middleweight championship of the world. Introducing first in the red corner. He's wearing green trunks and weighs 159.5 pounds. His professional record, an outstanding one. 38 victories, only 2 losses and 2 draws, 23 by knockout. He's formerly from Syria and now from Brooklyn, New York. The #1 contender in the world, Mustafa Hamsho. Wearing blue trunks at 159.5 pounds. His record, 59 victories, only 2 losses and 2 draws, 49 by knockout from Brockton, Massachusetts, the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Arthur Mercanti, the referee, with the instructions.
Good evening, Marvin and Hamsho. You both received instructions earlier this season. We expect you to obey these instructions, and I will be here to enforce them. Shake hands now. Return to your corners to await the starting bell. Good luck.
And as is the custom with Marvelous Marvin Hagler, does not shake hands. He says, I only have one thing in mind when I get out there. He says, get him the hell out of there and then shake hands. Here's a look at Mustafa Hamsho. He looks businesslike. He was staring at Marvin Hagler during the pre-fight ceremonies, which here everyone hopes went longer than the fight will.
There will not be a feeling out process. Quite naturally, Hamsho's going to go straight for Marvin and try to go to work.
Hamsho's tough, no question about it. And this fight will be a good indication as to whether or not Marvelous Marvin Hagler has slipped at all.
That was a good right hook by Hamsho, that land. It was a pretty good punch, too.
Hamsho bedecked in green trunks. On one leg, it says Mustafa Hamsho. On the other, Patty Flood. They were inseparable. I mentioned earlier that Marvelous Marvin Hagler in that first fight did not lose a round. So right from the opening bell, he took charge.
Well, right from the very beginning, he dictated the pace of the fight. But here, I think he really wants to feel his man out and see a weakness.
And Hagler looks at Arthur Mercanti for help as he was complaining that Hamsho held him.
Hagler has to be very careful, Barrett, as far as headbutts. Although it's not intentional, it's just the way that Hamsho, his style is.
Yeah, that is one thing to keep in mind. Even though Mustafa Hamsho had 55 stitches from cuts inflicted by Marvelous Marvin Hagler in that first fight in Chicago, Hagler himself was cut from a butt in the first round.
You know, there was a big question whether or not Hamsho could change his style, and he is. And what I see, he's moving his head. He's not being a stationary target.
Well, that's what they said, that he bobbed and weaved a lot more now, and he will throw hooks, which he didn't throw too many of in the past.
I think what Hamsho's driving force is not only just to win the title, but to do it for Patty Flood, who he loved dearly.
Butts really could be a factor in this fight, and with these two styles, contrasting though they are, they really do become that much more conceivable.
If I'm not mistaken, Bert, it seems to be a trickle of blood already on the left eyebrow of Mustafa Hamsho.
So we will watch that. And there is a little bit of blood. At least it shows actually on the belt of the trunks of Marvin Hagler. And there, Hagler is saying was a butt.
They just collided with heads.
We'll try to watch that if we can.
And Hagler's starting to get really frustrated because he felt that it was intentional.
Hagler talking to his man, telling him, come on. And there is blood. It appears to be above the left eye. Right in about the brow, alongside the bridge of the nose.
That was a beautiful right hook once again by Hamsho.
And Hagler covers up.
Watch the head.
And Hagler tells Arthur McCanty that again.
That was the intentional head by Hamsho.
And Arthur McCanty steps in there.
We know that Hamsho already has a cut over his brow. This fight could come down to a question of how much blood the referee, Arthur McCanty, could stand. I actually gave that round to Hamsho. He was more deliberate than we've seen in the past. He showed more movement. Here he comes in, and there you see the butt in which he's led with his head. And Hagler was very upset. There it is. He led with his head. He did not cut Hagler. He is being more deliberate. And Hagler's anger got the best of him in that round. He seemed frustrated. He seemed a little bit surprised by the way Hamsho fought him. Round two.
A lot of fireworks in that first round.
You may see a lot more movement from Marvin. Well, you say, put it this way, you should. Hagler stay on his toes and give this man a lot of lateral movement. Keep him in the center of the ring and not let Hamsho get him against the ropes nor the corner.
Hamsho cut above the brow, on the brow actually, over the left eye. So we will keep an eye on that.
Look at Hamsho move his head. Now that definitely is a big change in Mustafa Hamsho. He is giving Hagler a lot of more movement from the head. He's not a stationary target anymore.
And Hagler going with the jab and a quick right hand behind that left jab. Very quick combination by Hagler.
So what you see, Barry, they have not changed the style of Mustafa. Just added on.
Going side to side a little bit more. Bobbing, weaving. 1 minute into the second round. And once more, Hamsho opens up on Hagler, but Hagler a counter-punching right hand.
What also may be a factor in this fight, Mustafa Hamsho had to pull off a little more than half a pound, and it may take his toll.
Pretty nasty bleeding right now from that cut over the eye, and it isn't a place where it could really affect him. The blood coming down alongside the bridge of the nose, it not yet is getting in Hamsho's eye, but it is that type of cut, and it could really be a factor in this fight. I believe that is the same cut from the first round. I don't think he was cut any more than that.
Watch your heads! Marvin must be extra careful of the tactics of Mustafa Hamsho.
And McCanty once more said to Hamsho, watch your head.
Watch the shoulders, watch the head. Hagler must be extra careful.
Remember the fight with Vito Antifermo? There was a butt in the first round that opened up a big cut on Marvelous Marvin Hagler. There was a butt in the first round of this fight too. It did not open a cut. The only blood right now showing from the left eye of Mustafa Hamsho. That's a good right hand by Hamsho.
Mustafa Hamsho uses his shoulders very well. He has that chin underneath his shoulders. Has very broad shoulders.
In between rounds, we will look into the corner of Mustafa Hamsho, and we will try to check on that cut. Hamsho took a good right hand that stopped him in his tracks.
That right hand knocks a lot of fighters out. A clean right hand. Just stopped Hamsho momentarily, and he leaped right back to the attack.
Yes, I got it. Don't worry.
I'll hold your back. Stay here. I'm right here.
Question is whether Hamsho can fight effectively in this style. He obviously is not getting hit as much as he was in the first fight. And there's that right hand. A clean punch.
Tommy Hearns, incidentally, sitting right directly behind us here, talking with some of his cohorts, saying, I got my fingers crossed. There's no question as to who he's rooting for. This is the third round. Hamsho fighting with his elbows and his head. And that was just out and out a bunt.
Hagler can't lose his composure, Barry. He must stay relaxed, stay calm. I think this is what Hamsho want Hagler to do. Just get upset. Just run in.
Hagler flicking that right hand into the face. A good combination. Stunned Hamsho once more. A left and a right hand right behind it.
Stop holding, Hamsho! Hagler does not need to load up. That right jab of his is so effective, and it's going to enable him to throw a lot of combinations without being susceptible to being hit by the head.
And every time Hamsho lowers his head, Hagler takes a half step back. Hagler getting off faster than Hamsho, no question about that. And another good combination, and Hamsho is down.
Beautiful combination. Now you're going to see Marvelous Marvin Hagler go to work.
He has a great killer instinct. He started with a right hand, and Hamsho holds on once more. Uppercut and a left hand. Hagler not wasting any punches here. Hamsho right at the moment fighting on instinct. Crowd on its feet at the Garden. Inside 1 minute remaining.
He's ready to go. He's ready to go.
Hamsho is out on his feet. Hagler should be able to finish him off. Time, no factor. McCarthy says, don't push. There's a right hand. Hamsho is down. He will not get up. This one is all over. A stunning performance by Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Well, that's going to make people sit up and take notice, I think, Ray.
Oh, for sure. I think Hagler just did a great job in doing away with Mustafa Hamsho.
He was very sharp. I think the last time these two fought, we had said that that was as good a performance as we'd seen of Marvin Hagler. However, at that time, Hamsho's style was made to order for Hagler. Tonight, Hamsho tried to do something a little bit different. And I'll bet here that Marvelous Marvin Hagler didn't miss but 10 punches in this fight.
Well, the right hook was what did the damage. In fact, he sent Hamsho to the canvas, and he took his time. I was impressed with the fact Hagler took his time. And here, Hamsho is just on Queer Street. His legs are not steady, and just Hagler just put a barrage of punches together and put Hamsho down for good.
And didn't miss any punches, and that really is the key.
His punches were very accurate, Barry. He just took his time, and he was very frustrated and angry at first. That right hook there was the final punch and the end of the fight. But frustration was in Hagler's face for a long time because Hamsho did a lot of things.
I think Hagler was very concerned, as a matter of fact, about a butt, because that, of course, could turn a fight. And Hagler looking down at Tommy Hearns, who sits behind us here. Pat Petronelli pointing to Hearns. Hearns got to be a happy man. He wants to be pointed to at this point.
And this is what the public wants. This is a natural fight, a big fight. It's a happening. It's an event.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler, absolutely a fine performance. We keep referring to him as Marvelous Marvin Hagler. We want you to know that is his given name. He had it changed. Ergo, it is Marvelous Marvin, not just simply Marvin. Right now, let's go up to the ring announcer, Mike Buffer. He has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 2:31 of the third round. The referee stops the bout. The winner by technical knockout, still undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
So you heard it, and it was tremendously an impressive performance. And Larry Merchant trying to get in position to talk with the winner, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. And let's go to Larry Merchant right now.
Marvin, it looks like you came into this fight really angry for the first time in some time.
Yeah, that was true. But first of all, I want to say happy birthday to my grandmother, Bessie Hagler, and also to all my sparring partners who helped me to get in tip-top shape for this fight. Everything was on the money tonight. I knew it was a matter of time. Coming back, I put on more weight. You know, like I was too light the last time. But this time I had the punching power. Oh yeah, getting better. Give me Tommy Hearn.
What happened when he butted you, Marvin?
Excuse me?
What happened when he butted you?
Well, you see him very dirty. It's very obvious. I see then there was no referee out there in this ring. So you want to play dirty? I play dirty.
You seemed even almost wild in your anxiety to hurt him.
Well, I stopped it, though. I cut it down and started putting things together, and I realized, let him off a little bit. He's got to leave an opening. Let him get the crazy. Let him be the crazy one.
Wasn't he trying not to come in a straight line at you as he did in the first fight? He tried to be a little cute.
More bobbing and weaving, but he can't whoop Marvelous Marvin Hagler. That's it. Nobody can whoop me. I'm the best. They won't give me the credit, not even you. But I'm the best. I'm waiting one day to hear you say that I am the greatest. I'm waiting.
We're going to take a look at the second knockdown, Marvin. Describe it for us.
Well, I was a little wild, like you said. I had to settle down and try to put the combinations together. Nice. Nice uppercut. Didn't just matter of just putting it to punching. I had so much more combinations, and we was planning on using.
Here it comes again.
This is one of the punches that I worked on in training camp here, because he drops his right hand there a little bit. And like I said, he's got a big heart. He's courageous. He came to fight, but he can't whoop no Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Did you want to put a show on here in your debut at Madison Square Garden?
My debut right here at Madison Square. This is the highlight of my career, and I'm glad that I've done it right here at Madison Square Garden. I'm glad that what had happened was by me being exposed to the rest of the world and come here. New York was ready for me. They were ready. It's a good birthday present. Also, today is my manager, Goodies, and Pat Petronelli's birthday also. And also my grandmother, Bessie Hagler.
What's the next fight?
Well, we don't know. We're taking one step at a time. But you know who we want. You know who the public want. You can ask them. I'm going to tell you, he better come and get me before I decide that I don't want him. Because money's not everything, and that's what I'm trying to say. I want to show my championship skill out here and show the people that I am a true champion. I hold all 3 belts, and I love to see all the championships be united.
Thanks so much, Marvin Hagler. I'll be back with a final comment in a moment, but now back to Barry and Ray.
All right, thank you very much, Larry Merchant. Incidentally, you saw a little head pop in behind Larry Merchant and Marvelous Marvin Hagler. That was the head of Vito Antuofermo. There is the head of Tommy Hearns. He's smiling with good reason, Ray.
Well, you're talking about a big fight, a fight that the public want to see. It's Thomas Hearns and Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Barry. I mean, that's a natural fight. It's a big fight. It's an event, and I think people want to see that, especially now.
And they say, of course, that styles make fights. I think styles made this fight. It particularly made it, of course, for the winner, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. What will it do against Tommy Hearns?
Well, I tell you, it's going to be a strategic fight from both fighters, and the fact that Marvin now is so strong, and Tommy, he's developed into a middleweight, so it's an interesting matchup.
Well, a very, very impressive victory, I think it's fair to say, for Marvelous Marvin Hagler. We've seen him be sharp in the past. I don't believe we've ever seen him be as sharp as he was tonight. For some final words, then, let's go back out to the ring and Larry Merchant.
After seeing this fight tonight, I'm convinced that if Custer got a rematch at Little Bighorn, he'd have lost again. history is destiny. And there's just no way that Mustafa Hamsho has enough guns to beat a skilled, fierce, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Just a moment to tell you about the negotiations going on. According to promoter Bob Arum, they are close to making a fight between Marvelous Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns. He says that the two fighters will share $10 million. The question is how they will share it. And once fighters start talking about money, you can expect that they will come to an agreement soon for a fight, probably next March. Barry?
Thank you, Larry, and it should be a tremendous fight. There's no question about that. You know, there's an interesting thing, too, in the way Marvelous Marvin Hagler handled himself tonight, too. We have talked about this on numerous occasions, Ray, but Marvin has sort of tried to reach out for success and pull success to him, and in the past, for some reason, he hasn't really been noted as being the great middleweight champion. Tonight, I did notice he was doing that, and I think people are starting to recognize him for his abilities in the boxing ring.
Well, but I think what has been bothering Marvin for a long time is the fact that he wants the big recognition that I guess I've received and now Hearns has received. And in order to get that, I think a fight against those two will bring it out.
Well, Marvelous Marvin Hagler said a little bit earlier, he said New York was ready for Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Well, I think Marvelous Marvin Hagler was ready tonight for New York. It was a great victory for him. Third-round knockout over a gutsy Mustafa Hamsho. Be sure to join us for our next presentation of World Championship Boxing as the heavyweight champion of the world, Larry Holmes, defends his crown against James Bone Crusher Smith. That'll be live on Friday night, November 9th, right here on HBO.